Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 563, recorded on January 22nd, 2026. On this week's episode, we talk about a bit of Nintendo news, our Nintendo 2026 roadmap, and Lego. Jesse, you know what to do.
What's up, everybody? It's Marty here with Nintendo Dads, episode 563. It is January 22nd, 2026. Joining me on the show this week is the entire cast of characters, Justin, Jesse, Tim. How you guys doing?
It's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bracing for winter weather this weekend.
Yeah, it's, Tim's getting some winter weather right now. Justin lives in perpetual winter weather like the Ice King from Adventure Time. And I'm under the gun starting Saturday morning for not snow, but ice, which sucks because I don't want to lose power. And it's probably going to happen because you never just have snow and have nice things, know. Anyway.
We can't have nice things, can we, Mark?
Yeah. Every now and then. We can
have ice things, but not nice things.
Oh, that sounds like a show title. Ice things, not nice things. Well, we're not here to talk about ice. We're here to talk about Nintendo. Guys, just wrapping it up. How had a good week? All that good stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
Couldn't go anywhere because it was snowing everywhere and cold, and so it was like I stayed inside and play some games, watch some Harry Potter, and so yeah, it's all good.
Over in the Masson family, we are literally counting down. We are 3 weeks away from our trip to Japan. As a matter of fact, 3 weeks from now, we will be over the ocean flying in to Tokyo. So we are super excited here, getting ready for that. Lots more bookings and events. So yeah, we're getting ready.
I'm looking forward to that too, Justin.
I know you sent me a list of things that you want brought back.
Yep,
I love that.
He said, "Do you have anything?" And I said, "Hold on, let me pull up my list."
Yeah, I like how you sent
me
the list and your
receipt length list.
And and I can PayPal you those funds right now. I was like, wow, that was quick.
Boom, that was quick. Love it. Well, guys, we actually have quite a bit to talk about on tonight's show, including our news as well as our predictions for Nintendo's roadmap for 2026 based off of last week's 2026 predictions from the dads, and lots of other game news. So let's get straight into it, shall we?
Do it.
And of course, our news is brought to us each and every week by you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and our Twitch Prime subscribers. We want to say a huge thanks to all of our friends of the show that get access to the Discord either by signing up over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads or throwing their Twitch Prime subscription our way. That also ensures that you get an ad-free version of the podcast, your own ad-free feed. And if you join up over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads at $5, $10, or $30, you actually get more rewards like a full sub-slated Discord channels, pre and post show audio, and you get to be a Patreon producer of the show, which is pretty cool as well. And so you can head over there. Again, the website is patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. You can sign up for a month or a year. And if you sign up for the year option at any tier, we give you a month free because, after all, you are a friend of the show and we're just benevolent and generous like that. But again, all jokes aside, we do thank you so much for supporting us. It helps us do what we do, go where we go and see what we see. And then we turn it around to you. And hopefully you enjoy that content and our opinions and our reviews of things. So again, patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, or if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you have a free Twitch Prime subscription every month that you can renew monthly to get access as well. So head over there and do that today. And by the way, if you're watching this either on X or YouTube or Twitch or wherever you're at, and you've not liked and subscribed to our channels and all of our socials, please go do that right now. It'll help you get more notifications from us when we post a video or go live. And it also helps us because where there's smoke, there's fire. And you create that smoke by sharing us and, and liking us. So there you go. We want the smoke.
I don't see the Twitch chat, but I see Tim and Jesse both laughing about something, and that makes me worried.
Don't worry about it.
Gentlemen,
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to see here.
Let me bring up Restream. I think we have a right to know.
Mecha Dragon said, he said, is it that easy to go to Japan these days? Everyone and their moms are going down there. And now I'm jealous. And I said, I know your mom is going with Justin and his family too.
Your mom goes to Japan.
wow.
Wow.
Hey, there's another possible show title too. Your mom goes to Japan.
And suddenly we're a middle school boys podcast.
10 minutes
Yeah.
into this, and we
Yeah.
are just firing shots.
I love it. I love it.
that
Well,
easy to go to
hey,
Japan.
let's talk some news. Huge week of news compared to what we've had lately since the start of the year, even at the end of the year. Nintendo firing off a lot of announcements this week and a lot of updates as well. Probably the biggest, Super Mario Brothers Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 edition and plus Meetup in Bellabel Park now has a release date of March the 26th. And Nintendo shared a brand new overview trailer today, which showed off lots of mini games or multiplayer mini games, both local and online. Koopalings and Rosalina for single player, and of course there will be graphical upgrades and things for Switch 2. So is it enough, guys, for you to double dip and go back and get this? That's my big question.
Well, I mean, I think one of the first things is the positioning of this movie, or sorry, this positioning of this game makes absolute sense, knowing that the movie is literally weeks following that in April. So I think we were all thinking this was going to be the beginning of April. I think our guess was we were off by about a week or two, which totally makes sense. I also very much enjoyed, as we were watching this trailer, my reflection was they very much highlighted Rosalina, and of course Rosalina being a part of the movie coming up, and Luma's, so making some very direct connections. It wasn't as blatant as you will see her in the movie and you can play her here. It wasn't that direct, but it was pretty close. I don't think it's a double dip. I think it's enough to purchase the upgrade pack, as I have with most of the Nintendo Switch 2 games that have come across. I would say what I saw was challenge rooms. I thought those were interesting. The mini game kind of editions, I was like, that feels like it's more of a Mario Party kind of mini version they were trying to put in there, which I don't care necessarily for, but I understand the value of it there. The thing that sort of actually drew my attention, if I'm quite honestly, was actually the 3 amiibos that they revealed at the very less than 10 seconds. And here are 3 new amiibos that are coming with this game that felt like, why were these amiibos not put out when the game was put out 3 years ago?
It was 23.
It was 23. That's right, because it was right before I went down for Nintendo Live. Yeah, because there was literally a direct I was watching in an airport before I got on a plane to head down to Seattle. It was just sort of, and we got to play in Seattle. That was our first time playing it. So it was sort of a well, that's interesting. But it did do the thing of, I will download it over to my Switch 2. When the upgrade pack comes, I will upgrade it. Interesting enough that in Canadian dollars, it's a $30 upgrade. Which is in line with, I think, what it was for Kirby and for Jamboree. But then you looked at the Animal Crossing, it was like $7. So really interesting, them kind of still experimenting with the scale back and forth. But listen, it was a game it was a game I never finished. I played a lot of it and enjoyed it. And I think I got caught on some other review, but it's definitely going, I want to go back to playing that, and great timing for it to come out. And then there's the movie.
So I would add that I think the difference in the Animal Crossing and this is that the Animal Crossing is mainly just $5 for upgraded resolution and a little more storage and like one little user interface difference, right? The majority of the content for that is available both to Switch and Switch 2 users in a free upgrade, which was smart for them because they know where their fan base is, right?
Mhm.
That would have caused probably a lot of negativity if it had been locked to the Switch 2. This doesn't.
Yeah.
And so they know their numbers, they know their sales numbers on Wonder. And so making this an incentive to upgrade to Nintendo Switch if you really loved Wonder, or you haven't played it yet, I think is a good thing. I think that's why it makes it $20.
Yeah.
It's not just a resolution upgrade, which I mean, let's go ahead and throw this out here. We also saw a major update for Donkey Kong Country HD this week that
Mhm.
gave it upgraded textures and resolution, Dixie Kong, and challenge mode, which was free,
Mhm.
right? Not locked to the Switch 2. I mean, the textures are, but everything else was available on Switch 1. You can play as Dixie, you can do the challenge mode there. But here you're getting, for $20, you're getting 5 features or 5 major things. The local multiplayer plaza, or as it's called, it's Bellabel Park. So local multiplayer with 17 different types of attractions, game share functionality. Up to 12 friends can compete against one another in a game room plaza online, which is really good. I mean, like, you realize how many characters this game has.
Yeah.
Then you see that it can do that. The second feature is the Toad Brigade training camp,
Mhm.
which is basically challenges that you will
Yeah, it's
play
challenge
during
rooms essentially. Yeah.
challenge rooms for the levels, assist mode, which we haven't mentioned yet,
Yeah.
which means you cannot die. Basically, you fly up out of on a you fly up on a like a leaf or something if you fall in a hole, and then Rosalina is also added now with co-star Luma, who can be a second player character with mouse controls, and then Koopalings, which I refuse. I'm sorry, I'm not going to call them Koopalings. Koopa Kids.
Yeah,
Uh,
what was that? It was like, and I apologize, I don't have the PR notice up. It was like Quest for Koopalings, right? Like it was like you have clues and you have to find them
yeah,
in the right?
Treasure has. It said the press release says treasure hidden inside Bellabel Park is stolen by the 7 Koopa Kids. They all flee to various worlds across the Flower Kingdom. Keep an eye out because if you stumble upon one, you will have to enter their course and engage in battle with them. And it showed Wendy,
Mm-hmm.
one of the Kids, turn into a fish with a wonder flower, and you
That's
have
right.
to fight her.
Yeah.
One of the other things that I don't know if you caught this in this trailer, and it's not mentioned anywhere in this PR
I
at
know exactly
all,
what you're going for.
is there was a new power up.
Yeah.
This flower power up that allows you to make flower platforms or
Yeah.
something that then rise in front of you. It's shown 2 seconds and then blink, nothing.
Yeah. I saw I
No
saw I saw a post on
announcement.
like Twitter afterwards and it was a screenshot and they were like, sorry, why are we not talking about this? And it was that and it was like
Yeah.
it's a good point. Like, but Nintendo sometimes does that really well of just a bit of a tease, a look, a very brief kind of moment to take a look at it. Yeah, I thought that was great.
What if that is a amiibo exclusive power up?
We talk about those amiibos.
Yeah, let's
I
talk
I
about the amiibos.
I I think the Captain Toad one is baller. I
So
think it looks
yeah,
so good.
so we're
Uh,
getting Elephant Mario, Poplin,
yeah,
and Prince Florian, which will sit on the shelves and eventually end up at Five Below, and Captain Toad and Talking Flower
yeah.
together.
I have to share this. My wife Jody sent me a message later this morning after the amiibo photo came out, and there's that one of a Mario, Elephant Mario stuck in the pipe, and she's like, "This is how I feel today." It's like,
I did see a tweet that said they are withholding Elephant Rosalina from us,
oh, interesting.
probably for good reason,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
Uh,
the internet's a weird place.
yeah. Let's, yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, y'all
Mecca
remember
may have
about Peach
mentioned
Bowser?
that as well. Third
Yeah.
strongest mole says the Koopa kids, in quotes, are over 30
Hmm.
now. And Dark Platypus
Yeah.
says the Koopa young adults.
The
Yeah. Yeah.
Koopa
No kidding.
Millennials.
Yeah. No kidding.
With
They
this,
also highlighted, and maybe the transition to this, which was a separate video separate announcement. Can we, and Marty asks us, I'm going to hand this to you because you threw the hottest of the hot takes out there, that Nintendo seems to really be, I think, trying to elevate a special character that really they want to integrate into everything that we do now. And I'm concerned about your mental health, and I'm concerned what's going to happen.
I'm going to confess. Hi, my name is Marty Estes, and I have a problem. And the problem is I have an irrational hatred of this talking flower toy. It's it infuriates me, and I don't know why. I think it is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, and I'm telling you, it's going to sit there. I know that there's going to be a ton of Nintendo fans who are going to buy this, but I think this is a 100% absolute waste of time. I'm sorry. I've bought a lot. Hear me, a lot of useless Nintendo crap over the years. A lot. I have to draw the line here. This thing is
Marty,
probably.
I'm really sorry to hear you say that, because Nintendo Dad's HQ are FedExing one of those flowers to your house.
God, please don't.
For definitely some unboxing and testing that I'd like for you on assignment to sit with that thing in your office for an entire month. And I want random updates about what the flower has said to you, how you're feeling about it, and your interaction. And you have to do it for 1 month. That is the Mario flower
I'll do it for the
challenge
gram.
to
I'll do it for the
Marty's.
content. But guys, can we as Justin says, sometimes there's character Justin and there's real Justin. Character Marty aside, can we have a serious conversation about who
Sure.
this is for? Because here's my thing. Like, I don't think that I tweeted this today that I think they think this character is way more popular than they think it is, or they want it to be more popular than it really is.
Yeah.
And I don't think that there's the love for the talking flower like they imagine.
Yeah,
And
I would
its feature set is very limited.
I would definitely sort of agree with that. And I think, like, as I recall back, and I think Jesse, you did a video of it, I think, when we came out of like how to mute them or how to make it stop
Yeah,
talking.
I made it short.
I think when we were introduced to this flower in 2023, like, it was the first like 2 minutes, like, oh, that's fun. That's okay. I see what you're doing there. And then you're like, oh, this is becoming grating very quickly. And I do sort of agree with you, Marty. It definitely feels like Nintendo is taking that character, that idea, that color commentary announcer feature, and really trying to elevate it. And we even see this in Mario Fever. As I recall, he is an
Mario
announcer
Tennis.
at Mario Tennis, right? That's upcoming. So I actually do sort of agree with you. Now, what are they trying to do? They're trying to draw in a younger audience. That's what it is, right? It's funny, whippy, quick stuff. It's very much sort of like the Alarmo, right? It says things, you want to engage with it. This is Nintendo. Again, let's go back to what Nintendo is, which is a toy company. Right. And this is Nintendo very toyifying and edifying this idea that they believe has value, bringing it into the real life. And this is part of that scheme, or that transition of, you see something in a video game, here's what it looks like in the real life. Like, their multimedia connection, transmedia property, whatever you want, the jargon terms, is part of their ecosystem now, right? And so this is a character that sort of makes sense coming over that ecosystem as part of your daily routine. It's a super annoying thing, and you're going to love it for an entire month.
I think
So
part of my issue.
Doing some quick research real quick before you come back, Marty, there.
Yeah.
Quick research says that it is actually overwhelmingly positive for the talking flower character, and because of the love or hate for that.
So it's so polarizing.
Yes, there's polarizing. Plus, it's got an over 60% positivity in most polls about that flower. And
I love that they're polling about the popularity of the flower. That's amazing.
Yep. So it's up there. It's over.
I guarantee you.
Am I correct to say that the flower is more popular than Donald Trump in the U.S.? I just want to check. I just want to throw it out there. That's all. Moving on.
Talking
honestly,
flower
more
for
than
president.
likely. More than likely.
Talking flower for president.
They're the same color.
Third strongest poll is comparing the talking flower to Miles McKenzie.
Miles McKenzie gets my vote, but this is the part also that I kind of wanted to have a talk about too, is that the price point, $35.
Oh, that's not horrible.
It's not great either for something that's essentially a soundboard.
But are you kidding me? The Nintendo tax? Are you for a Nintendo product that is plastic? The amiibos cost almost the same amount as that.
Sure. Well, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, there you go, Timmy.
This was $50.
It's a $50 item.
And the flower.
It's relatively, if you compare, like, look at the video, like when the hand is pressing the button on the flower, it's actually pretty tiny. Like I don't think that this is much larger.
Or maybe it's just tiny hands.
It's a $35 amiibo that talks.
It doesn't connect to any games.
Maybe they just have small hands, Tim, right? Some small hands, and it's a really big.
Maybe so.
Bull also asks if we can train the talking flower to talk like Seaman.
The thing that's sending me about the whole
I was very specific about how I pronounced it.
Yes, I appreciate you doing that. The thing that's sending me about the whole announcement is, it says this: leave it to speak freely, or press the button to make it talk immediately. Press the button often and it might even say something special. So I'm imagining it being like, hey, how are you? Oh, look at that flower over there. I'll kill you in your sleep.
I can't wait for these, like Marty at his desk at the office. All of a sudden, hi, Marty, how are you? Or whatever they want to say.
The other thing that I loved about it was I think it was in Nintendo's copy, because I've seen a few different things, and it says it will announce the time, and then in parentheses it says mostly accurately.
Here's what I'm going to do first. First, I'm going to send it to Tim. Tim, I'm pretty sure it says it's programmable in 9 different languages. I would like for you to select a language, and then I want you to send it to Marty. That is not English, and we can't give him the instructions and see what happens for 9.
Sounds good to me.
I think I used Dutch in my short as an example.
Right? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, anyway, that launches March 12th. The flower does, and the amiibo launch on the 26th along with the game.
Well, look how big the amiibos are getting now, by the way. Look at how big these things are. See how big they are? They're so huge compared to my hand. See?
Oh,
they're humongous.
The dimensions, it looks like it's 13 and a half inches, 13 and a half centimeters tall. So 4 inches.
Yeah.
Speaking of kind of like where we are in this conversation, I was thinking they were done with amiibos.
5 inches,
right? That we were going to get
point.
like 1 or 2 special ones here and there. They are. I mean, as a reminder, folks, we have got the Super Mario Galaxy amiibos coming out in April that are bigger than normal. You've now got these 3 in March.
I forgot about those.
You had the Donkey Kong Bonanza one. You just came off of the Metroid run ones. So I was really thinking, I think we all thought, sure, we go to Switch 2 and they're done with amiibo. Like, because here's the crazy part of this, folks. Amiibos launched the same year as Nintendo Dads. I was in the New York store in October.
10 years of amiibo.
Weeks before
it was with
we
Smash
launched
Brothers
the show, and it was the Zelda P-Stick amiibo that was there that I had an opportunity to see, and I was like, this is crazy. And like, and I'm literally looking at my amiibo wall behind me, 2 shelves of them. Actually 4 shelves in total. But nonetheless, I really thought, but again, toy makers, right? They are toy makers.
Yeah. So so think about this. I just looking.
They need an Ultra Hand amiibo now. Just circle the loop.
Yeah.
The in looking for pricing on these, which, by the way, interestingly enough, is not available. So I wonder if they're testing like how much these can be or
Oh,
what they
for the
can
amiibos?
lose with them. There is no pricing available anywhere on the internet, even on Nintendo's official site where they have it the Elephant Mario amiibo listed. So this year, here's what we are already know that we are getting. All right.
Yep.
3 Kirby Air Riders amiibo, which is Meta Knight and
Oh, yeah,
Shadow
Kirby
Star,
Riders too.
King DDD and Tank Star, Chef Kawasaki, and Hop Star. Those are $50 each. Monster Hunter Stories 3 is getting 3 amiibo, Ratha amiibo, Ratha V amiibo, and Rudy amiibo. Those are, now listen to this. Kirby Air Riders amiibos out March 5th. Monster Hunter Stories 3 amiibos out March 13th. Mario Wonder amiibos now out March 26th.
Holy Dinah.
April 2nd, Mario Galaxy amiibos are out, and April 24th, the Pragmata Diana amiibo comes
That's
out.
right. That's
Also,
right. They did an
Grace,
exclusive for that one.
there's a Grace Ashcroft amiibo coming for Resident Evil 9 in February, and this was also mentioned. And Justin, you'll be able to have access to this. The new Power Up Band for Super Nintendo World in Japan is an amiibo as well.
Surprised there aren't Dragon Quest amiibo coming out with Seven and Maribel and Kiefer.
Sorry, no, hold there. The new Power Band?
It says the new Power Up Band for Super Nintendo World Japan.
Huh.
This is
I knew the Power Up Bands were amiibos to start off with.
But also, correction on that too. I wanted to throw this out before somebody else does. All those Air Riders amiibo are not releasing in March. Only Meta Knight is coming out in March. The other 2 are coming later on. But still, those are $50 amiibo that are out there on the horizon.
Yeah, I mean, Marty, thank you for pulling that data the way you've done that, because I think it really actually
March is overloaded.
Highly articulates that that as I've said before, what they've recognized is there be money in them hills.
Even Pear isn't buying every amiibo anymore. He said that on the last show.
But he's not. But I do think like there's obviously there. And I know Marty just kind of gave me the.
But there are people who are.
There's people who are, and they're paying that amount. And because if it's not profitable, you don't do it, right? Obviously, it's profitable enough. I'm
still buying them too. I actually was not going to buy the Street Fighter ones, but because they were heavily discounted over Christmas, I did end up getting all 3.
Yeah,
I got all 4 of the Zelda ones over the holidays because GameStop was selling them for $8 each.
Oh, they were stupid cheap. Yeah. But the thing is all this March amiibo madness going to end up exactly where these were. The Street Fighter and the Zelda amiibos, they're going to be in bargain bins because if you've got 4 or 5 $30, $40 products out that are basically just statues that give you a costume or something, and we don't even know what they do for the most part. But it's minor in-game stuff. I mean, you've got the hardcore fans who are going to buy them, but then what about everybody else?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point I was making about the flower pricing, is that like at a $15 to $25 price point for that, it's a little more palatable than the $35 price point.
What I was trying to say is compared to the amiibos, it's on point, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyhow, let's move on. But I think that the interesting part I would think of it, and this would have been interesting. This would have been in tax season. I love that.
Yeah, that's what David said. Gaming Dad said.
Yeah. I think as we think of like our predictions for 2026, none of us were like they're leaning heavy in amiibo, right? Or this game that I suggest or I speculate will be there is going to get an amiibo. But now I'm like, yeah, they're in, right? We know Splatoon Raiders probably going to have amiibo.
Let's also add to this something that we're forgetting, and this is that we are about to enter into next month a very accessory heavy push for Nintendo Switch 2, because not only do you have these, but now you also have Virtual Boy out there. You've got a $25 Virtual Boy. You've got a $100 Virtual Boy.
I've got one of those
attachments. And then you've got these amiibos, and then you've got some stuff we're going to talk about here in just a minute that aren't Switch peripherals, but Nintendo's expanding into Lego in a big way. But before we do that, let's talk about some other patches and updates. You may have noticed already Mario Kart World, Pokemon Legends ZA, and Donkey Kong Bonanza all received patches within the last 24 to 48 hours. Some of these are very minor things like adding Polish language to Donkey Kong Bonanza. Some of them were fixing some bugs in Mario Kart World, like K-Mac racing on a certain track caused the game to crash. But mainly just very quiet quality
That's
of
quite
life
the edge
under,
case.
you know, yeah, it was. I was looking at it. It was very weird. Tetris 99 also received an update. And it just updated itself. I don't know what that update was, but it came in today. And then again, as
Future
we've already
Maximus
mentioned,
themes.
probably Donkey Kong Country HD received a major free update/upgrade that you can go check out if you're a Switch 2 owner or a Switch owner. I actually will talk about this a little bit later. I played it and it's pretty fun. Speaking of those toys that we already talked about, though, the Legend of Zelda Lego Ocarina of Time Final Battle was both leaked and fully announced. It is coming this year for $130. It includes Zelda, Link, and Ganondorf minifigures, as well as a Ganon large scale build, along with some scenery from the crumbled Hyrule Castle and the Megaton Hammer. I think it looks great. Like, I'm excited for it, but I do think it's a little pricey for the amount of pieces in the set. I think you're paying the Zelda tax for that.
A little bit.
I mean, I would say yes, but I'd say then flip out the announcement of the Lego Pokemon sets that were announced also last week.
Did you?
And you want to talk about the tax, the Pokemon tax?
Oh yeah,
nearly
$650.
$700 or $650 for that, like three.
So, you know, I normally do the piece cost per piece math. The Zelda one is like 12 to 13 cents. That Pokemon one is under 10, is like not 9.5 cents. So
It has a huge amount
because
of
it's a
pieces.
lot of pieces.
It's a reasonable price for the brick count. And I
But did
mentioned
you
also
see?
in the Discord that if a piece, if they have to manufacture a new shape of piece, that probably bumps the price up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm willing
If
to
they're
bet
not
that too.
using standard brick shapes.
Did you see the cost of that for our Australian friends?
No,
$999 for the Mega Evolution set.
I think that's pretty close to what it is here in Canada. Pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, their Death Star, the new one that's just come out, like the big one, $14.99. That's a huge price.
I think it's a good set. I would say probably if it was under the $100 mark in relation, sorry, going back to the Zelda one, I apologize. If it was under the $100 mark one, I think that would be really good. But I do think like this is great because what, we talked about Lego before and what we wanted to see from Lego and Nintendo's collaboration. We had said we wanted to see the Lego minifigures at the Zelda level. And obviously we had the Deku tree that came out first. Now we're seeing this scene. And I sort of love the fact that they are taking different scenes or different scenes is the best word would be using from various games to articulate what they're trying to put forward. So I can imagine that we could potentially actually see like the boat from Wind Waker. I could imagine that what we would potentially see from something like Majora's Mask, right? So some of these like iconic scenes.
Minish Cap would make some good scenes.
I want the spinner from Twilight Princess.
Yeah, there you go. So I think it's good.
Here's something though that I do want to come back to about Jesse's comment about the different pieces, like set specific pieces. So if that's the case, and I'm not saying it's not, consider the case of the Lego Game Boy that had pieces that were, I think that's the only place you see those, and varied pieces, just the complexity of that and the way that they use some of that stuff. They were able to get that down to $60 USD.
Even Piranha Plant too, right?
Yeah, Piranha Plant was $60, I think, around that time.
It was a smallish build.
Yeah, but I'm going to go back and compare the piece counts. And I would say that the Zelda set that was just announced probably has a higher piece count, but a lot of those pieces are smaller, like little greebles, little one stud pieces and things like
Yeah.
that, to kind of flesh out the tower and the fire and things like that, which again, it's not a bad set. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I definitely want to own it, but I'm going to have to like balance that against like
Yeah.
room plus price.
Yep.
The Pokemon sets are absolutely out for me. I cannot.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't do.
Yeah, so I just looked at the Game Boy for $60. It's 421 pieces, so that's 14.2 cents per piece. So that's still
Interesting.
That's on
That's
the
high.
pricey side.
Yeah.
And
some of those pieces, like where the speaker is, on
Mm-hmm.
the Game Boy, that is a proprietary piece. Like they created that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and obviously, Marty, this is a segue to another piece of content here in relation to announcements today for Lego, right? But Nintendo, we continue to see this relationship to grow. I'm excited by it, right? The only regret I have is that I don't have all the money that I want to be able to spend
Yeah,
all
that's
the
true.
Lego products because they all look completely amazing, but you have to kind of pick and choose your battles. But I'm excited to see that they're diversifying how they're approaching their Lego offering, right? We have our Animal Crossing stuff that feels very approachable for a younger kids potentially, or a specific demographic. You've then got your Mario line that is definitely like the bigger blocks, right? You've had some grab bags in the past. You've got the definitely adult made for adult ones, where I think of like the Game Boy, the Nintendo NES, right? Even Bowser, right? I'm looking at some of them mine. And then you've got the Mario Kart ones, and now you've got Legend of Zelda. Their diversity in how they're approaching their franchises and who their audience is and how they're price pointing it even, I think is actually really great for us as fans. And so I'm excited to kind of see where they continue to go with this as well.
Yeah.
Biz wants the moon.
There you go.
Ooh, that would be
That
cool.
would be pretty cool.
One way I wish they would go is a few years ago I think they maybe still do this, is they did like that, like the foot tall or almost like Star Wars figures,
Mhm.
that you could build. They had like a lot of Technic pieces, like Kylo. I have a Kylo Ren in my office, has cloth cape and the lightsaber and all that. It's really,
I have the
I
Darth
would
Vader
love to.
one.
I would love to see them do a Link like that. I would love to see them do a Samus like that. Captain Falcon. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
That maybe they're not going to, like, maybe we're not going to get a line of F-Zero cars, but we can get like Nintendo icons and get, you know,
But are we getting a line of Mario Kart Legos?
yeah,
Bigger
because we
ones?
are. Because there was an official tease today. This is not a leak, but an official tease from the Lego account of a brand new Mario Kart offering that will complement the Mario and standard kart that came out within the last year or so. And we're talking about Lego Luigi with like the yellow and blue kart that he was kind of standard with for
The
Mario
Death
Kart
Stare
8.
one?
Yeah. And so you just see the side of it enough to see his ear and the hat and the wheel from the cart, a little bit of the tease of the body of it. And then it's like, it just clicks off. And so who knows when that's gonna come out or whatever, or even get announced. But
Probably
that's
Mario
probably going
Day.
to be that, yeah, March 10th. It's going to be the big Mario Kart set for this year.
Yeah.
And Fredo
So-
said when you mentioned an adult Lego set, he thought you were going to mention a Leisure Suit Larry set.
No, I'm sure that exists because
I'd
the other
appreciate
day
that.
I found a knockoff, not a knockoff, but like a non-Lego version, like building kit for Hank Hill from King of the Hill on
Oh,
his
really?
lawnmower.
That's
With
funny.
and then they had Beavis and Butthead Legos, and they were scary. Like it was.
Like,
It's almost as scary as the Lego Pikachu. Yeah. Well, hey, let's talk some other gaming related news. Bowser has joined Hasbro. Former Nintendo of America president Doug Bowser was announced this week as a new member of the board of directors for Hasbro, meaning that he's bringing his expertise to the land of Transformers and G.I. Joe and Barbie and all kinds of other things. Immediately, everybody has an opinion, right?
Barbie's someone else.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She's Mattel.
That's right.
But
that's right.
I made a joke.
Hasbro does have a lot of other properties, though.
Yeah, I made a joke in Discord that said, make Transformers great again, or G.I. Joe, or
Please.
My Little Pony or Scrabble. Pick an IP they
Please.
probably own.
You know what? Yeah, hey, you know what? Hasbro owns the rights to Baldur's Gate 3, so maybe he can get that on Nintendo Switch 2 now.
There we go.
Right? That I saw that out there, but this somebody was like, "Well, he didn't stay retired very long." Well, the thing is that this is still retirement because if you're on the board of directors,
Board of directors is not a full-time job.
Yeah, they meet like 3 to 4 times a year, right?
Right.
And so I think this makes a lot of sense. Nintendo, again, as you've already mentioned, is a toy company.
If you remember, company. Reggie did the same thing. He was on the
EB Games
BOD
or GameStop. Yeah.
For
correct.
A bit. Didn't last long, but he was there.
Yep.
Yeah. And then in some sad news, Ubisoft canceled 6 games in development, including the long-awaited Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake.
The one Ubisoft game I cared about is gone.
Yep. Which, by the way, it's also been announced that the Switch version of this game was being developed by a single developer in India. They handed it off to one guy. Is it any wonder this failed? However, it's also been announced or rumored that a Rayman remake is still in the cards, with the rumor that this is going to be another remake of Rayman Legends. To which I say, why? Not because Rayman Legends is not a fantastic game. It is.
It could be worse. It could be another port of Rayman 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think like this news, and there's the press release that came out. There was something about like refocus, reorganization. Ubisoft is finding themselves in a bit of a predicament as they try and figure out what their course of action is. I would say their refocus, their scrapping of games feels like they're trying to prepare for a sale. They're trying to make themselves lean. They're trying to focus on very specific things. So I wouldn't be shocked. And I believe there was did they not recently sell some stock from Ubisoft to Saudi Arabia? I think I have to validate that, but there's definitely been some external 10 cent. Yeah, there you go. I thought Jared Kushner, or was it EA maybe they bought? I have to remember. There was some Jared Kushner was involved in some purchasing of either EA or Ubisoft.
Because I actually looked at their stock today, just completely forgetting about the whole announcement that happened last night. So stock prices have been floating around $1.50, and literally overnight it opened at $1, and it even closed less than that today.
Yeah.
So when are we buying Ubisoft? Nintendo
Did I tell you guys
Ubisoft.
I was going to say that's what you guys got.
It's now 33% cheaper than it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Can we just call it Dadsoft when we open it up? When we buy it?
Ubi Dads.
I will say I am curious about Ubisoft's strategy here, because I do think they're trying to focus in on what makes them money. And
I think they forgot
I am very curious about how Assassin's Creed Shadows and how Star Wars Outlaws sold on the Nintendo Switch 2. And we don't have numbers for Shadows. I don't think we have numbers for Star Wars yet. I'd be curious, maybe someone can do a check for that. Because I would not be shocked if Ubisoft is in a situation right now where they basically cleaned the boards. They don't have games, I don't think, really that are scheduled to come out. They've done this reorg, but they still need to be able to bring in some money. And so I wouldn't be shocked if we end up seeing from Ubisoft this year a strong desire to port as many things as they can that's already created over to something like the Nintendo Switch 2. I would not be shocked if we see stuff like more Assassin's Creed announced in 2026 coming over to Nintendo Switch. I wouldn't be shocked if you look at some of their other games, potentially Rainbow Six Siege, The Division, anything that kind of Ubisoft, maybe even Far Cry games, that Ubisoft might be able to say, can we have this running on the Switch? Can we make it and port it over where we can have some level of revenue coming in, because we know that there's a fan base there that may buy these games? I think that's the situation Ubisoft is in right now. as they begin to sort of realign and make some decisions moving forward.
Yeah. It doesn't look good.
No.
Right? I mean, that's the bottom line. It doesn't look good. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, they have a ton of great IP that should be doing well, but they have just, it doesn't help when most of your AAA games come out in early spring or late spring, early summer, and then they're already in the
Discount
Black
bin.
Friday sales by November. You know,
Yeah.
they need something. They need to knock something out of the park. And honestly, I thought Star Wars Outlaws would be it when it came out, and it just didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I mean, I think they were also betting really well on Avatar, right, last year. Uh, I
Which I've
think,
heard is good.
which I hear is good, but I don't think it's sold the way they wanted it to. I think they're really trimming down and saying, what are the franchises they know sell well? Far Cry is one of them they know sell well. The interesting part of it is that like they have the Tom Clancy IP, right? So that's Splinter Cell, Tom Clancy's The Division, right? That's a pretty big, well-known name. Um, and there's a lot of usually fervor around stuff like The Division for sure that might end up supporting that. And then I think they should keep going back to Assassin's Creed. Well,
You
they
guys
know
just
that makes
mentioned
money.
a lot of those things that are doing well. They have good name, they have good IP. It's what you guys just said. It's that too quick to put it on sale mentality. They're
I,
not giving their properties enough time to, you know, be worth something.
I I think that's true, Tim. I also think that they have unrealistic expectations, right?
Yeah.
Like if you look at Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown 2024 or 2025 when that came out, that was a great game.
Mhm.
That was a fantastic game. Critics seem to like it, fans seem to like it. It didn't perform the way that they wanted to, but I think Ubisoft is such a big organization that a ballooned budget, right?
Yeah,
Also, like they're always setting the bar this high when the reality is you need to recalibrate your expectations for some of these games and probably right size your teams to be able to say we can stay within that development budget that we can be
Right.
successful here and not overly balloon it. And then I think you fall. I mean, you had that from Assassin's Creed, then, or sorry, I apologize. Prince of Persia, and then a year later, I mean, the new Prince of Persia the Rogue Prince of Persia that came out a couple months ago, like that was like gone and past.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that maybe part of their problem is that they have great IP, but there can be IP fatigue
Mm,
uh, from some series like Assassin's Creed in particular. I went just now and Googled what were the main series release dates. So if you look at just starting, let's just start from the beginning. Assassin's Creed was 2007, 2 was 2009, then Brotherhood in 2010, Revelations 2011, 3 in 2012, Black Flag 2013, Rogue 2014, Unity 2014, Syndicate 2015, Origins 2017, Odyssey 2018. You get the picture here.
well,
Like,
this
not
and I
every series can be a yearly iteration. And it is almost a year. I mean, there was a 3-year gap between
yeah.
Valhalla and Mirage, and then a 2-year gap between Mirage and Shadows. But the is it too much?
Well, this I mean this goes back to like we used to give what are you thinking when we talk about Call of Duty, right?
Yeah,
Like the annualization of Call of Duty. And at one point there was a time where Ubisoft said, "We're taking a pause on the annualization of Assassin's Creed." And there was like a couple year break. But what they then realized is, oh, but it still sells, so we should just keep going, right? We have a couple successes. Let's just crank that up again. I think it was Odyssey that had a really good success, or Origins was received really quite well and actually sold quite well. So now you're getting back on the hamster wheel of annualization, right? And I think like the next one is supposed to be Hex, and it's supposed to be based in like Salem during the witch trials,
mm.
so to say. So yeah,
And see, all of those sound like interesting ideas to me.
yeah.
But it's I wonder if they could monetize it more. And I'm talking about like a feasible monetization that would sustain if it wasn't so crammed together.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, hear me when I say this, I don't think yearly iterations of any video game are good because they don't allow for like features to be
Yeah.
improved, to grow. I mean, like I've been a WWE 2K fan for a long time, and it's just not there. Like like this past year is probably my last one for a while.
Mm,
Like they're gonna
yeah.
need to do, it's so much the same, and they've really started milking online with the cards and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened to Call of Duty. It's happened to, like, think about a yearly Guitar Hero kill,
Mhm.
and that it killed that. All those, the inundation of that. Pokemon has, I think Pokemon suffers because
Yep.
it's a yearly, almost cycle. Mario would suck if it was a yearly game. I'm sorry. If it was just like a new suit and the same thing over and over, like, oh, here's a new world, or we fight Bowser again. Okay, great. Eventually that would get tiresome. You got to give things time to breathe. And maybe that's the issue here. I don't know. Any final thoughts here on Ubisoft? No, okay.
Nope.
Well, let's round out our news here by talking about releases and updates out now. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade on Nintendo Switch 2, which is being called I saw a review today that said the reason to hope about future third-party ports. It is getting huge marks all across the board. It looks excellent. We will hopefully have some content out for you in the coming days on that. Um,
I
yeah,
was gonna say I picked it up today. I have not had a chance to. I've literally put it in and installed it. If you played the demo, it actually says, "Hey, I found demo data. Do you want to pick up right from where you left off?"
that's cool.
Yes, I do. Literally, I'm at the boss fight right now in the reactor, so that's great.
Look,
And then the version I picked up also included magic cards. And I put on our channel on our shorts. I unbox a pack of magic cards, and I don't pronounce names right, and I don't know what they mean. And so it's great content, folks. You should
That's
definitely
half the
watch that.
fun.
there you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Um, you just send them to Jesse. He'll appreciate them. Or Tim. Tim plays Magic. To also out today, Cult of the Lamb Woolhaven DLC. And then very soon, Dispatch will be out on Switch and Switch 2. That's next week on the 29th. Followed by Dragon Quest VII Reimagined on February 5th and Mario Tennis Forever on February 12th. And the Resident Evil Generation Pack and Resident Evil Requiem out on the 27th of February. We now again know the date of the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Brothers Wonder, plus Meetup at Bellabel Park, March 26th. Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection will be out on March 27th. High on Life 2 will be out on Nintendo Switch on April 20th. Bubsy 4D will be coming to Switch and Switch 2 on May 22nd. Um, 007 First Light Switch 2 has been delayed. Is that delayed to May 27th or is it delayed past May
No,
27th?
it's delayed to
Two.
May.
It used to have a March date.
Yeah, it's
All
gonna
right.
be May.
Yeah.
Probably
And
can
then,
get rid of the word delayed because we said it a
yeah.
few times.
So, and then for the rest of 2026, we've got South of Midnight, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, The Adventures of Elliot, Millennium Tales, and Mina the Hollower out there. Can I just say that, like, I was so hopeful the other day because Aaron and I are watching the Fallout series, and we've been following season 2, and it's been fantastic. And I went, oh, this is surely on Switch 2 by now, or Switch, and went to
Not
the
yet.
eShop, and I was like, what the heck? Like, what a miss for them to not have that with the start of season 2, because I wanted to jump in because she was asking about the game. And I was like, oh, if it's on Switch 2, we'll get it. I'm sure it won't be at the full price or whatever. It's supposed to be the anniversary edition, or we'll just get it and we'll play it together, or you can follow along as I play. And yeah, that we missed it. That was a misconnection. So hopefully she'll still be interested when it comes out. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel for first looks on lots of our latest releases and things we get sent, as well as other things that aren't on this release list. The eShop is crowded, it's growing. And so, yeah, lots of stuff over there. That's our news. How about we discuss some stuff?
Okay.
All right, we're gonna round out Guess the Arcade Game with Jesse. And hey, I want to go ahead and announce this while he's getting that ready, that next week is the start of a new type of game that we're going to be playing called Community Game Night. This we're going to have a game for the next two episodes, or actually we'll probably skip next week because we'll get to that here in a little bit. But the next game
Well, unless
time
we
we're
roll
going to
10 today, I've got 2 days worth still.
excellent. So Jesse, when Jesse finishes his games, we will. Our good friend of the show and listener Mikey Burgett has prepared a game for us that will run either 2 or 3 weeks. And so, if you are listening out there and you're like, "Hey, these mystery blind box rankings things, I could do one of those." If you would like to enter your version of Community Game Night, we'll take it. We'll feature it on the show. We'll give you credit for the game. We would love for you to create one for us. And so you can let us know if you've got an entry for that by emailing us just nintendodads at nintendodads.org, right? That's the email address, right? I say it every week and I can't even.
NintendoDads@gmail.com is our email
Nintendodads
address.
at gmail.com. That's right.
I was like,
Nintendodads.org is our website. Nintendodads at gmail.com is where you want to email your game. Because if you email it to Nintendodads at nintendodads.org, nobody will get it because I'm an idiot. But anyway, Jesse, take it away.
Okay, so again, my game is pick the game based on the audio clips. If you get it on the first audio clip, which I think is more difficult, you get 2 points. If you get it on the second audio clip, you get 1 point. There is one in here that got 3 clips, so it could be up to 3 points. I don't remember if it's coming up or the next one. So the first 10 games I did, so we know it's not going to be these, is Burger Time, Pac-Man, Galaga, Frogger, Donkey Kong, Junior Pac-Man, Donkey Kong 3, Galaxian, Dig Dug, and Mr. Do.
Okay.
All right, so game number 11. DM me your answer. So
On the Discord.
we're just doing
Justin
like
Perk.
5 of these, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Justin perked up like he might know what this is.
No, I was like, oh, I have to DM you, and I'm definitely trying to figure out
Oh.
because of my situation right now.
I got
No.
mine in and it's wrong, but I don't care.
You got yours in and it is wrong.
All right. Curse my knowledge of the way arcade games look, but not sound.
Here's the second song from the same game.
I'm sorry. What, are we trying to name the game?
Yes.
Yes. I know that game. I know that game. Oh my gosh.
Want me to play it again?
Please.
Love the bass part. You know, something you don't notice it on a mono speaker, but when you actually have the split parts, it sounds cool.
I know I'm wrong, but anyway.
Okay. Yep. Tim did get it right on the first one. It was Miss Pac-Man.
Nice. Okay. Nice job, Tim. Next.
All right.
Whoop.
Game 12.
What was that little beep?
It was part of the game. I don't know why.
I know. It was kind of funny. It was out of nowhere. Beep.
Yeah.
Be typing.
No guesses from me on the first one yet.
I'm literally
Justin's
just putting.
Justin's just type in arcade game names.
He's just guessing randomly.
I am 100%.
Same here.
I am.
Okay.
Same here.
If I remember right, this might be headphone warning on this one.
Okay.
Marty
That's
likes the
crazy.
flute.
That was good.
I'm just typing.
I think we should only do 3 of these for the sake of time.
I don't remember the name of it, so I just threw out a name.
I think Tim's on the right track, but no.
Am
All
I
right,
not
what do we
right?
Right. While there is a Tarzan yell in Pitfall, it's not that. This is Jungle King.
Oh, that's what it was. Shoot. I said Jungle Fever.
I've got some fever for the jungle.
In fact, technically, Jungle King wasn't released in America because of the Tarzan yell. They had to take it out, and they changed it from a Tarzan-looking character to more like a British explorer, and it was renamed Jungle Hunt.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Okay.
As opposed to its sequel, Jungle Boogie.
Right. All right. Game 13.
I've just given up, by the way. I'm just going to let you know. Right now.
That's fair.
I've given you 3 titles.
I'm just
And
going back and realize that I had 4 or 5 guesses on December the 18th, and I'm just going back to those.
Yeah. I also I went to put down Bubble Bobble, and autocorrect put it to Bubble Bible.
Bubble Bible.
and that's a fun.
that's
It's
a good
fun
one, too.
game. Yeah.
I remember that one. It's a good
Bubble
one.
Bobble.
Yeah.
Going
Do
back
you
to
remember the Bible story game, Marty? Did you have that game for the
I did
NES?
not. I did not. I was no.
going back to the Jungle
Wish I did.
Jungle Hunt game. I had that for the 5200. That's why I was like, I know this sound.
Yeah. So you'd recognize that level 1 music probably, but without the Tarzan yell.
Yeah.
All right. So second song.
Oh,
Wait, that sounds as familiar.
I figured that one might be a gimme.
That sounds as familiar.
If you
John
know it,
Madden
you know it.
football.
Which year?
1990. Or sorry, 1984. Duck Hunt.
Marty and Tim got 1 point for that one. It
Woo!
was Hubert.
Hubert.
yes.
Well, that was fun. Great
Right.
songs. Let's move on.
Okay, well, let's do one more.
You got
Let's
you got
do-
2 more. He's got to do 5. Each game has 5. Just
I'm
because you don't know
I'm
your stuff.
enjoying this.
Ooh, listen to that bass on that game.
Metal Gear Solid 2.
Castlevania.
Do that again, or did you get it? That's like
I
the
like the
third time
bass
you
on
guessed that there, Marty. 4th time
I know.
you guessed that.
Eventually, you've got to be right.
Oh,
I mean, it's gonna
considering
get
it
there.
was a game that we used last time, it's not going to be any.
Oh, it was last time. Yeah. Well.
Right.
You should publish these lists.
You ever guessed him?
No.
Okay, here's the second song.
Star Tropics.
Wait, that's really familiar though.
Well, it's using probably public domain music at the time.
Eine kleine Nachtmusik. But yeah,
Yeah.
technically.
Your public domain.
But yeah, it was public domain at the time.
Oh shoot.
I have no guess.
Play
I'm
Fighters.
clueless.
I like Justin's fake guesses.
Clay Fighter did have its own theme song.
Yeah, they did.
Any guesses,
It's
Tim?
stuck in my head even now.
Oh no, I had one and I lost it. So nope. I don't
No,
know
you
what it
didn't.
was.
Nope.
Yeah,
you
I had.
didn't.
You're all
I
gonna
did
kick
from the
yourself
first
on this
time.
one, I think.
From the first sound you played, it was like the bass was familiar, but I lost what my thought was.
This was
Go ahead.
Mario Brothers.
Okay.
That's where I've heard that ditty before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Okay.
Bam, bam, whoa, did
Brr,
it,
brr,
bam, bam.
brr, 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 brr.
We all should have got that one.
All right, I think y'all should get this one. This is
Okay.
probably the most gimme of the gimmies. All right,
Too much pressure now.
Last song for no, I lied. Okay,
That is number 5.
This one isn't the gimme of the gimme. That'll be the first song next week. But
Okay.
still, this one still is a good chance you should get it.
Okay.
Justin's rocking out. Marty looks like he might have a thought.
It sounds familiar. But I can't think of the name of it.
Captain Skyhawk.
All right, here's the last song.
Oh, you suck.
Oh. Hold up.
Play it again.
No, it's the first one that's it's super familiar. I just cannot place it.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I'm gonna kick myself for this one for sure.
I think y'all are gonna kick yourselves for this one.
Yeah. Hang on.
Can we play
Bobble, bobble.
No, I've got it in my head. I'm just going through.
Yonoids.
Every time I think I'm getting close to a name, Justin says something.
Double Dragon.
I'll just go ahead. Justin's throwing me off.
Donkey Kong
What
Jr.
is it?
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. God. Yeah, I can see it now. Like I can the music and oh my gosh. Yep.
Those were
Hey,
good
I got a
ones. I
point.
like those
I
picks.
got a point though. I got more points than Justin.
Yeah, you did.
That's right.
All right.
There was a someone said by you, Billy, for one of them. Someone did.
Thank you. That was a game I was thinking about trying to put down as a fun answer. But I couldn't remember it.
A few people did get Miss Pac-Man. Well, someone said Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird.
Becca
Okay.
goes, oh, that's Mario Brothers. I don't know if he said
Wow.
it, got it before or after I said it, but just in the chat.
Sure.
Gaming Dad said Zaxxon. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's old school.
That's a game I
Zaxxon.
actually never could figure out. It was isometric 3D game.
Yeah.
And it was I never could be good at it.
Gotcha. All right.
All right, so I got one more
next.
of
Oh,
those. No, not today.
one more week.
Next, one more week will be the last set that I have.
Jesse will finish his game next week, and with one gimme that we should all know. So we'll figure that out. Let's talk Nintendo's roadmap for 2026. So after all the Game of the Year discussions and 2026 predictions, the question is what do we ultimately see on Nintendo's 2016 roadmap? Like, where are directs or showcases? What is 2026. What does Nintendo need to do to keep on rolling? What do we see from their fourth quarter numbers? And what is the new Nintendo of America's president's first order of business in the public eye? And so let's go around the horn and answer those questions here. Justin, we'll start with you. When do you think we're going to see another direct or another showcase?
Yeah, I think the internet has kind of put it out there as well. I don't disagree with it. I think probably that week of February 12th, I think that's the Thursday, is probably when we're going to see it. That's pretty logical. That is the release of Mario Fever Tennis as well. We traditionally, the last several years, have seen Nintendo Direct in either February or March. Feels like the right place to have that.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like they're getting rid of some of the update announcements so they can focus on bigger games or focus on something else? Third parties, maybe?
I think Nintendo, especially when you think it's something like the Nintendo News app, they have said to you, we are bringing you daily news. We are unbundling what you would maybe traditionally have seen in Nintendo Directs, and we are using that as a slow drip feed of content we're putting out on a regular basis. And so things like the controller color schemes, some of these updates, I think are things that have sort of been relegated now to the Nintendo Today app. And I think that they're using the Nintendo Direct for these are the games you're playing, right? These are the third parties, these are the partners, these are the indie games. We're going to provide really good space to that and sort of relegate those those level C updates, so to say, or third level updates to something like that platform, which I think they're going to end up doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good answer. Jesse, Tim, y'all want to chime in? What you think?
I actually launched the Nintendo Today app for the first time in probably months. And like the first quote unquote news article is, this is what Nintendo Power number 58 from March 94. This is what the cover looked like. And it's Mario Land. Or Wario Land cover. I'm like, okay, that's great. Thanks. Didn't need that. Apparently,
Okay.
there's a feature on NBA Jam for Super Nintendo in that issue.
Cool.
All right, great.
I like NBA Jam.
So what are you saying about the Nintendo Today app?
Well, it's weird for that to be the first news article, and then it goes into the Talking Flower overview trailer about Mario Wonders DLC, multiple mini features of the upcoming tennis game of what the various rackets can do. And then said Mario Run was released in 2016. So we're old.
Yeah.
You're not wrong on that.
Yeah. So, are those the answer to 2026? I don't think so. I hope they come up with something better than that.
Well, I mean, we do get news items in the app. So
yeah, when there's legit news, it does normally come up there first, like maybe 12 hours before they start tweeting about it.
Yeah.
But
so I guess it just comes down to
you gotta look to see if there's anything interesting. Otherwise, there's not going to be anything interesting.
I guess what we're learning is that what is the difference now? What is going to be posted in the app first versus what's going to come in the app after they do a direct?
Pikmin shorts, apparently.
I go back to, I think the directs will be used for game announcements. Like
Like the
again,
big ones.
yeah, like we have agreements with third party developers and indies. So I think when we do see games, we may get a little bit more information about them. Right. We may see more to pad out some of those directs. We may see some more developer interviews, right? Some more behind the scenes content. Because I think that's where that's going to add value.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Good thoughts. What does Nintendo need to do to keep rolling? I mean, we just heard uh, today that that we now know that 4.4 million Nintendo Switch 2s have been sold in the United States since launch, which is makes it it still holds the record as fastest selling console of all time.
Yeah, and over 3
Um,
million in Japan, also sitting there.
yeah. So obviously momentum is Nintendo's to lose at this point. What do they need to do to keep on
And
moving forward?
well, based on holiday numbers, they might have already lost it. Well, at least that initial bump definitely kind of puttered out pretty quick. Yeah, we won't know the exact numbers for another 2 weeks.
Yeah,
But
I mean, yeah, I would say that, Jesse. I think, the initial launch had a really high peak, right? Whereas, so it peaked, I think, really high, and people purchased a little bit earlier than they would have in the holiday season. That's where some of those
yeah,
purchases would have come through.
like the
Where on the
hardcore
initial,
fans did, but I'm not sure if it's quite mainstream already yet.
yeah, and I think when you look at like the first year of the initial Switch, you were starting to build momentum as you came into that holiday season. People started to understand the Switch. You knew Breath of the Wild was out. PS, now you've got Mario Odyssey, right? So let's go back to your initial question, Marty, which is what does Nintendo have to do? I think Nintendo actually has a pretty solid strategy. Um, Again, you need to come back to for the Switch 2, you need to have compelling reasons for individuals to move over to the Switch 2. What is the reason? And typically the reason that will draw someone over will be software. Software drives hardware, right? There has to be
Yeah,
the games for me to want to purchase it. So
yeah,
that's one thing, is they have to ensure that they have games that are approachable and accessible. I think that's why obviously you're seeing this push for Mario Wonder prior to the Mario movie, right? Again, connecting those transmedia properties together to ensure there's some level of synergy, which is also why we're seeing a plastic toy that you hate, right? There are those connections and those pieces around it that they have to be really aware of. But then you have to have IP that will draw and move people into that. And I do think you need a Mario, you need a Zelda, you need something that are like,
yeah.
oh, there it is. That's the hook.
Yeah, they've always tried to release one game a month, and I think they still mostly did that. But the problem with 2025 was half the time it was a remake. So yeah,
And,
you
and I,
released a game this month, congrats, pat on the back, but still, it was a game most of us have already played and don't really
but
care.
here's the thing. When you say most of it's, like, if you are a hard, and the strategy in there is still continuing into this year, Jesse, as you look at again Mario Wonder,
Yeah,
right? These are games
so
that hardcore Nintendo Switch fans already have purchased. That are, I'm not double dipping on that. The money you're gonna
yeah,
get out of me is an upgrade pack, right?
but most of that upgrade pack is multiplayer content, which I'm out. So I'm
Fair
probably
enough.
going to skip this 20
I
bucks.
I, I think for someone like you, it has to be what is net new
Yeah, I want
product,
new
right?
content.
Correct. Net new product. So I think Nintendo for the next year and a bit is going to dust off. Here's upgrade packs. We're going to see that for probably a year and a bit, I think. What they also need to do, and I'll be very clear on this, is they cannot raise the price in 2026. Right? You need to continue to keep the price at an accessible level for individuals to purchase it if you want to make this transition over to a new platform. You cannot raise that price. And I think Nintendo, I thought about it afterwards. We've talked about Nintendo has a pretty deep war chest, right? That they can bet, when they're going through the Wii U stages, everyone's like, oh, they're gonna fold up. No, they're not.
Oh,
Nintendo could put out
they've got
stinkers for
cash.
years and still be fine. I almost wonder, and there's got to be some level of analytics and ROI being done behind the scene of what if we hold? What if we take a bit more of a bath on these prices for 1, 2, 3 years, right? And absorb the tariff pricing, keep it as is, and ensure that we get people to come over to the console, right? You want people to be purchasing it. So I think Nintendo has to stay true and stand their ground in relation to increasing it. There will be other companies that are wanting to do that. Nintendo has been family centric, has usually been aimed to try and keep prices affordable. And I think they need to continue to do that this year as well. And I think Nintendo needs to continue to look for ways to expand their IP and make it, again, and going back to the statement, like a transmedia property, right? We see that with Lego. They need to continue to expand. They need to double down on it. And I think they're actually they're going to be fine. I think they need a big game in October. I think they need like a Mario. I think they need something that's going to be a big, like, there it is. You need a Mario or a Zelda that will really drive consoles. Unfortunately, a Donkey Kong Bonanza, Mario Kart, they're not going to do it.
You know, when we talk about this issue, we mainly talk about sales in terms of video games. But I wonder how much of Nintendo's other media they're factoring into this overall cost ROI, you know, risk versus reward. It's like we may be taking a hit over here on the cost of Nintendo Switch 2 consoles, but we're going to make a buku of money over here with the Mario movie and the Zelda movie. And we're going to, our partnership with Lego is expanding this year into multiple IP that weren't there, you know, that are more of this a new IP with Pokemon, but more Zelda, more Mario Kart. We're going to get a return on investment there, and so it's like we balance it out, you know, because Nintendo is more diversified in their branding than they've ever been in 2026, and so maybe they do have the collateral capital, whatever word you want to use there, to be able to play risk versus reward with the tariff pricing.
Yep. Yeah, I
And
mean, and I would flip that, Marty. And I, again, as we're getting prepared to go to Japan, I get fed constant videos right now of people who are lining up to go to Mario World in Universal Studios, right? They are making hand over fist on that stuff. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
The IP continues to grow. Yeah, where you now have, which they didn't 10 years ago, effectively, you now have more stronger pillars as an organization to allow for you to lean on and still be supported when one or two of them are not performing the way you want to, right? And so, yeah, to your point, you might take a bit of a bath on the console, but PS, you're making bank on the movie. You're making bank over here on the Lego agreement, whatever percentage you're getting from that. You're making bank over here on the theme parks, right? And all of your merchandise lines. Like, again, you got to remember, Nintendo, they've opened another store in the US, right? San Francisco. They just had a pop-up event in London, and I think that was a little bit of testing the waters. They are knowing that that their IP, their apparel, their paraphernalia people want.
Yeah. I was going to say there's apparel licensing, lunchbox
Correct.
licensing, action figure licensing,
Yeah.
you know, all kinds of stuff that's out there.
Yep.
So with that being said, and going back to consoles mainly and video games,
I just looked at the last quarter financial numbers, looked at their cash on hand. Yeah, want to make any guesses?
I'm not even going to guess. I'm going to say it's going to be trillion yens.
Yes.
3 trillion yen.
They report it in millions of yen. It's 1.7 million yen. So 1.7 trillion yen, which is $10.7 billion.
There you go.
Yep.
In US
They can
dollars.
take a bit of a bath.
Yeah.
Yes.
So speaking of, what do we see, or what do you think that we will see from fourth quarter numbers? Because we are approaching the end of a fiscal year. What can someone remind me, or remind us and listeners, what was the forecast of sales for Nintendo Switch 2?
15 million.
Well, they adjusted, did they not?
Increased it with their Q3 numbers.
Yeah. I think they ended up reporting it, or
I think it used to be 12. I thought it used to be 12 and it went up to 15.
No, it was way higher than that to start off with.
Trying to find the notes from that show. That's Q2.
It was in the teens. I
Q2
know,
report.
somewhere around that.
The original forecast was 15. They increased it to 19.
Okay.
Yep.
19 million console units sold. Do we see them make that by March 31st?
Again, my prediction
What was
from 2025 was they would sell 15, and I'm not sure if they would, based on what I'm hearing from the holiday numbers. Because as of September, they were up to where is it? Trying to
It was
10.3.
10 million something, right? Yeah.
So they would have needed to have sold 5 million over the holidays, and I don't think they did.
I
Even
think
make the 15.
so. Their goal was 19, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 19 by the end of the fiscal year, which still goes through March, but really Q1
Yeah,
calendar
big sales.
is
it's gonna be
the
pretty low.
lowest selling
I'll
quarter.
I'll give him 15. I'll give him 15. I think
15 is probably
So
still
just
doable up to fiscal, but
yeah.
Kind of going back to the original question, Wario64 had a tweet on November 4th that they had sold 10.36 million units
yeah, that's
as
what
of
was
September 30th.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
reported
So
in the
you've got
last quarter's numbers.
Yeah. I think you're probably cranking 15.
But they're not going to get that adjusted number of 19.
I don't think so. If what we're hearing is right, and that the sales were lessened in the holiday season than they anticipated,
Yeah.
and to Jesse's point,
and I don't think
first
this is
quarter of
all
the year, you're
Switch's
not doing
fault either. Just the economy in general is garbage right now.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, and game sales, software sales, and as of September 30th were 20.62 million units. I fully expect that to be up there. I mean, do you think double, or do you think like 30 million units of software?
Yeah,
I think Pokemon apparently was a good seller. It was one of the best sellers of the year for Switch too.
So your question is, do we anticipate, if we're doing 15 on software, what we're getting on hardware we're getting on software? I think you're probably looking around 40. I think you're probably looking around 40 million software. If again we're going with an idea of like 15 on hardware, because I think everyone probably has at least 3 games on the Switch, at least. Right?
Okay.
Oh, averaging.
Switch
there's
2
psychos
software.
like there's
Switch
I know
2
there's
software.
psychos like us who are, way out there.
Yeah.
We have to remember
Library.
Mario Kart sells a lot, right? You almost had one-to-one attachment, so there's like 15 there already. Pokemon sells well. We are 100% aware of that, right? You know that Mario Party traditionally sells well, despite the fact that this is an upgrade pack, right? There's a couple factors there that I think really make it approachable.
Do you think Animal Crossing makes a dent at all?
We're not going to see those numbers for a while, right? I think you are. I thought I saw
You're not going to see them March 31st.
No, I apologize. You'll see them March 31st. It's so far away that I was like, we were going to see those for a bit.
I don't know if they would, if they sold 1 million upgrade units, would they announce that? They would definitely announce it if they definitely announced it if it was 1 million units of the $80 version of the game, presuming that they're going to have one. They'll definitely announce that. But so many people have the Switch 1 version.
Yeah.
Not many people would need to buy that version. They would just pay the $20 add-on.
It wasn't even 20, it was $5.
Oh, right. $5 add-on.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty low.
I was getting confused with Wonder.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, Marty. That's a really great question. We'll have to see where that shakes out.
Okay. Last question here.
Even if they sold 1 million of that, 5 million is a drop in the bucket to them.
Yeah.
Last question here on this. What do we think is the first order of business for Devin Pritchard?
Well, order of business?
Minus her recent appearance at the New York Game Awards.
When you're saying order, like you mean
what's her first move? What's her first? Tim wrote this question, so
Yeah,
Tim,
so
why don't you
it's
clarify here?
basically, so she showed up at the New York Game Awards,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
she was there. Do we see her do more than what we saw Doug Bowser do? Is she going to be
No.
in the predictions? Not predictions. The direct.
Directs? No,
Is she going to be there?
no.
Are we going to see more of a public-facing Devin or no?
You are not going to see the days of Reggie. That was a very different video game era in that time, right?
Yeah.
I think you will see you will see Devin, I think, much more aligned with the approach that Doug Bowser took.
I hope she
I
at
think
least does an introduction to herself in the next direct. Her first direct
I,
under
I
her
Yeah,
order of
I would
business.
see something along those lines. Jesse is probably a first introduction, and then that's sort of it. And then you'll see her at any kind of like, hey, big releases or big events, and she'll do some interviews
Game
with like,
Awards.
Bloomberg about blah blah blah. It's 1 year with the Switch 2. Where do we see the projections? Yada yada yada. Like she'll do that stuff from an investor's call perspective, but I don't think you're not going to see her like you did Reggie.
Yeah, I do
I
think
don't
it's
mean as much as I don't mean like we saw Reggie. I mean more of a Nintendo of America presence from Devin in the directs.
No,
Not necessarily like Reggie, with the, like you said, like the way it was then. It's just more of, it could be
The directs are
business or
pretty
it
much
could be,
scripted by NCL now. Well, they always have
yeah.
been, but so
I think they're going to continue with the disembodied voice
hmm
Yeah.
style of directs that they, because then
yeah.
there's not one person who is the figurehead,
Because
right? Like
Furukawa's
it can be
also not really in the public eye either.
right, and we can
Right.
in that way they can focus on developers when they're speaking than rather than a Nintendo employee.
Okay.
And something tells me we're not going to see her as much because if you go and you look at like she's been at Nintendo since 2006. So we're
Mhm.
looking at a 20-year vet here, and uh her career at Nintendo has not been up like it's been leadership roles, but it's not been upfront leadership roles. So from the head of the legal department to marketing and business affairs and publisher relations, she has been a behind the scenes person.
Yep.
Literally, this chief operating officer of Nintendo used to be a Nintendo ninja. You are not going to see her.
Platypus says all future directs will be hosted by Talking Flower.
Oh my god. Then might as well kill them. I would. Oh my gosh, that's the worst idea I've ever heard. Platypus. It's so bad that they might do it.
That's the funny part is I see that happening.
Yeah, right.
Not, maybe not all of them, but going into April. Yeah,
Tim, I will give you this that I did see. Like when Doug Bowser came to on at Nintendo, or when he stepped into that role, he did at least like appear on camera that one time and was
Mhm.
like, "Hey, I'm Doug Bowser," and
That
I'm,
was the earlier one. Yeah.
they had
yeah,
a little
and
skit with Bowser.
yeah, I think maybe we might see something like that one time, just to like say this is the person who is in charge. But then after that, I think they continue business as usual. They one thing that we know about Nintendo is kind of once they hit a formula and they know it works, they just keep doing it. Uh, and so I could kind of see them doing that with the
Mhm.
directs. You know, and I had said this before, like on the Japanese side, I think that I always just use the one name, but Koizumi, from the early Nintendo Switch
Yeah.
stuff, from the reveal and everything, he's very engaging. He's very friendly with the camera. I think they lean into him
Mhm.
as much as possible on the Japanese side, and then they allow the American direct part to be just the voice. And who is like we don't even know who that is. Like we don't even know who that voice is. But I mean, it's good. It works, so they're going to keep doing it.
Okay.
Although I would love to go back to the days of jelly sandwiches and puppets and donuts and things like that. I miss that.
Yeah.
Please understand. I mean, I miss those days. So, guys, that wraps that up for this week. We're
Please
going to actually
understand.
revisit this concept in coming weeks, because what we want to do is actually take our predictions and use them to weave what we think will be a concrete roadmap or a flexible. I say flexible because we don't know, right? But our concept of a roadmap for Nintendo for 2026. I guess maybe if we ran Nintendo, I don't know. And so.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. So let's talk about what we've been playing. Can I start? Because I'm going to be very brief. All the games I've been playing this week were games I've already been playing, but I'm revisiting because I've realized I haven't spent a lot of time with several of those, or I'm spending more time with them than usual. So just let me reiterate: Street Fighter 6 on Nintendo Switch is one of the most competent ports of a fighting game I've ever seen. It's fantastic. Year two content is in full swing. So Sagat and Sea Viper have recently been added over the last few months as new characters, and Axel is being added at the end of or toward the middle of March. And the reason I know this is because it was advertised this week on AEW Dynamite that Kenny Omega, who former AEW champion, has done all the mocap for Alex and has added. They've added his moves to Alex in the game, which is like his super special is now like a succession of Kenny Omega's wrestling moves. And it's really cool. And so that piqued my interest, got me back into the game. I've been playing Donkey Kong Country HD. I tried out the update with Dixie Kong. It's really interesting the way they do this. The barrels that contain Diddy now flip. And so you can either pick them up when it says DD, or you can pick it up when it says DX. And they are color coded too. So if you pick it up at the right time when you throw the barrel, that's the one you get. If you happen to pick up another barrel and throw it and it's the different color, then it swaps them out. So it's like real time swapping of the characters. And kind of they do the same thing. So it's almost a graphical preference. There's a little bit of a difference in like the way that Diddy hovers and Dixie kind of does an upswing with her extra jump, but the graphical bumps really, and loading time bump as well is actually really good. And can we just point out that this is now a port of a Nintendo Switch game that was ported from Nintendo 3DS that was originally released on the Wii.
Yep.
I think that's brilliant. It's fantastic. Way to go, Nintendo. I've also been playing PowerWash Simulator 2. I'm working my way through that. I'm about halfway through the actual main game of the story of PowerWash Simulator, and still having a ton of fun with that. And then Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've opened my museum. I'm 6 iron nuggets away from opening the store, and just having there's 6 years, guys. 6 years since I've been back in this position, right? And so there's a lot of that I'm like relearning and taking my time with. I'm trying not to hurry through it as much as I did originally. We had massive amounts of time to play it back in 2020. So I'm just taking a little bit of time every day and enjoying I've still not gotten to interact with any update content at all because I blew up my island and started over. So it's been a great experience, and I'm pretty excited that. And Tim, I'm going to pass it over to you because you're also playing Animal Crossings or Animal Crossing the Switch 2 update.
Yes.
So what's going on
Yep.
with you over there?
I did not restart my island and just continued what I was doing. I put in about 6.5 hours through this last week on it. So adding to my numbers, my Animal Crossing numbers it is my number one game that I'm playing
Awesome.
on the Nintendo Switch. But yeah, nothing new there. Just continuing what I was going on there. I'm redoing some spots in my island, having fun with that. There's still some pain points in the game that I hope they fix when they come out with a new Animal Crossing game that that still didn't get fixed this time around, like having to go. I wanted to move a bridge, so you have to go talk to Tom Nook, put in your request to remove the bridge, and you can't do anything else as far as bridges or inclines or anything like that until that bridge is taken care of.
Yes.
Once that bridge is removed, then I wanted to put in another bridge. So that's another day. And so it's like you can't be quick when it comes to those type of changes, but the other changes are still pretty fun to do. So I'm having fun kind of fixing up some stuff.
Can I ask a question too that, and I hope this is a hope that I fix when we do get a new Animal Crossing. Why can I not just give Blathers my fossils, have him assess them and accept the donations with other donations? Why does it have to be a separate thing? Like,
Yeah.
when you go in there, it's like, oh, you got to assess the fossil, then you have to donate it, then you have to, it's very tedious, and it feels very counterintuitive.
There is a lot of tedious
I'd
things that
forgotten.
still go on in there. Yeah.
What I've seen a lot of people do with the new update, as we mentioned last week, they can drive now.
Yes, that's come in handy on some of my things that I've been redoing.
They're doing the cha-cha slide in the game.
That's perfect.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Okay.
So
what else you been playing?
So that's what I've been putting my time in. Also, more time in Demonshool. I've talked about that game a lot. There's some, I think, first look and let's play out there on that already. So I won't bore people with that, but still playing that. I'm in week 5 and it is counting down. So I need to get through the last 5 weeks here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to the apocalypse. And then, by the way, this is the Y2K apocalypse that I'm going through right now. It's leading up to the Y2K apocalypse.
Awesome.
Hopefully I prevent it. This game is probably the reason why we never had Y2K. It's the history lesson on that. Split Fiction, more with Scott there. So getting closer to the end of that. Fantastic game, co-op game, especially being able to play. Even though we live, like 10 minutes away from each other, we can play online in the comfort of our own seats in our homes, and have a good time with that. And then Dokapon Kingdom Connect with the Retrologic hosts. 3 of the 4 there. Because I've been playing with John. I started that game with John, Sam, and Shannon over there, or they started it and I got to come in and join in. So it is basically a RPG board game. I've talked about it before. We've played it before. Just 3 of us, Sam, Shannon, and I, but then John joined in, Dat Fast John from Retrologic. And we started the game over, and it's a RPG board game where you get to pick a wizard, a warrior, a rogue, or I can't remember the 4th. Is there a 4th one? Maybe it's just 3, but you get different classes you can pick, and you can change those classes later. And you Mario Party type style, you go through a game board, and when you land on certain spots, certain actions happen. You either fight something or you collect something to improve your character. You can also, when you beat monsters that have taken over a town, you get to collect rent from that town. So it's kind of got a little Monopoly type feel to it there. And that's how you collect more money. And the more towns you are mayor of or own, and the money you have essentially is how you win the game. You got to make the most money. So it's pretty fun. Slow paced, nice, hang out, we all just hang out and chit chat while we're playing. And one of the fun things you can do is if you fight somebody and you beat them, what is it? Pick on them, I guess, or bully them, not bully them, but you can pick on them by either changing their hairstyle, giving them a different name, or changing their hair color or something like that. And one of the things that happened to me last time I played was they changed my name. It's one of those things where you can pick a name from a list, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but I changed that name on my Discord as well. It's just to match it what was in the game. And it was something silly like Poo Poo Head or something. I just can't remember what it was. But yeah, again, Dokapon Kingdom Connect, a lot of fun playing. You can do it locally or online. 4-player, pretty fun game. Those are all the games I've been playing.
Nice. Jesse, what about you?
I'm continuing my run of Dragon Quest XI-S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. All the subtitles. I finished Act 2, which is rolling credits the first time. It was like 64 hours in, and then I knew from my run 6 years ago that I hated the plot of Act 3, and I still hate it. To stop. Hopefully it reconnects. It reconnected. That was fast. Anyway, so I'm in the middle of Act 3 now. And I don't want to spoil it, even though it is a 6-year-old game, but basically there's time travel shenanigans in foot. So pretty much all the character development that happened in Act 2 is gone, and it's kind of over the course of Act 3 has to happen again, but it'll happen in a different way. So if you want to hear more about it, DM me and I'll talk more about it then, but I just don't want to say too many spoileries here. But still, I'm hoping to finish this before 7 comes out in 2 weeks, because that'll be another long game.
Yeah.
That's all I've been playing.
Okay. Justin, playing anything?
I've been playing Memories in Orbit, or Mio. Just came out this week. There's a first look on our website, our web YouTube page from Hoots. This game reminds me of Ori. There is a beautiful hand-drawn art style that is associated with it that looks great. There is definitely, and Marty was talking about in pre-show, it's like, it feels like it's a little bit of like Silk Song-ish. It can be difficult for sure. There is a little bit of a grind, and I've been fighting some bosses several times and learning and getting better at it. Very strong Metroidvania. I will say very strong. Like, here's a map. Here's a red door. I can't go in that red door. Oh, look, there's a white door. I need to go there. Like, and so that's pretty cool. The story I find very compelling, very interesting. One of the features that I want to share with you that I thought was really cool is in the settings, they have assists. And they have it broken down into 3 assists. So again, I think when we talk about accessibility, how do we approach games? So there are 3 really cool functions in here. And the first one is called Eroded Boss. An eroded boss, if you turn on, is bosses will remember facing Mio, and each time they defeat her, they become a bit more brittle. So basically, every time you go in, you fight a boss and you lose, and I have been doing that a lot lately. It comes up on the page as you die, and kind of as you're loading the next scene, it says the boss has been weakened. And when you go in to fight the boss next time, their life bar goes up, and there's the traditional life bar. And as you defeat them, they kind of they usually chuck down, right? Slowly move down. What's happened is on the other side, it's actually shortened. There's like a black bar that's basically like moving it forward. So you're actually seeing that as you're going in, because they're brittled or eroded away, that their life bar is actually shrinking. So it's a really interesting assist that they have that one. They have another one called Pacifist, which prevents enemies except for bosses from attacking Mio unless she strikes them first. So that was a really interesting one. And then Ground Healing, which allows Mio to gain an extra layer of protection, non-stackable, when she stays on the ground for a short time. Essentially, if you're on the ground for a short amount of time, you get one of your life bars back. So really cool accessibility around that, which I thought was great. I've probably put in 3 or 4 hours into this game. It's really enjoyable. If you like Metroidvania games, if you like good platformers, if you like a game like Ori, if you like a game like Hollow Knight or Silk Song, those things sort of hold true to you, I would encourage you to pick this game up. I think in the US eShop, I think it's like $20. Really well worth your time as well. So check it out. That'd be my recommendation. And then on deck, as I alluded to earlier, I have picked up Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, a remake Intergrade, which I'm excited to play. And so I haven't had a chance to do that. But as I mentioned, the demo does pull over. So that's great. But those are the games I've been playing.
I love how Square does that for a lot of their games.
Yep.
And makes
100%.
that demo worth it for you to try out. So awesome.
Dragon Quest
That's-
7 does the same thing.
Cool. Love it. Let's go into our community spotlight.
Do it.
All right. If people have noticed, we've kind of been going past the spotlight because we spend a lot of time talking about other bits of this, other sections of the show. Same holds true this week because we're holding all of our community questions for next week. Next week, we're going to have a community questions and answers episode. So we have all the questions that people have submitted so far. And then we're asking for, if you have more, we'd love to hear them. We'd love you for you to submit them via our social medias, our Patreons, Discords, emails, and voicemails. All the different ways you can submit it and feel comfortable submitting it. You have those ways to get us in a question, especially on any of the topics we talked about this month, like Game of the Year, Community Game of the Year, our predictions, Nintendo, the roadmap we just talked about, why Justin puts maple syrup on snow, or something else entirely, all those different kinds of questions. So we have all those questions that we'll have that show next week. And then in February 5th, we'll have special guest Rogers Base coming in again. So Jesse's been calling it the DQ7 episode. So we'll look forward to that. And then in February, at some point, Justin and family will be sharing information about their Japan trip, right, Justin?
Yeah, so I can talk about that. So again, as I've been sharing, heading to Japan on February 12th. So if you're interested in following my adventures, and I will tell you, it is a very Nintendo-packed 2-week adventure. You'll want to subscribe to our Twitter page. That's where I'll be putting photos, not necessarily not my Twitter account, but the Nintendo Devs account. I'll be posting photos there so you can follow along and see that as well. My intention will also be to, where I'm experiencing this, to provide like short formed, maybe shorts on YouTube, like little clips or vlogs for you to watch as well. So again, a couple big events that we're doing there. We are going to Cafe 84, which will be a really great opportunity. We're going to go to the Nintendo Tokyo store, which will be amazing. So lots of stuff there. We do have tickets to the Nintendo Museum, and then we have tickets to Universal Studios, and we have tickets into the Nintendo World and all the rides there as well. So looking to provide a lot of Nintendo content to you while we're there. And so again, subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on X to follow kind of the adventure, and hopefully I can share that with you, and hopefully you enjoy that. And if you're like, I don't want to watch this is dumb and I wish I was there and I'm not, that's okay, you don't need to. But if you want to journey along with me, please follow. Hopefully you'll find stuff you enjoy.
Justin, can you speak on any truth to the rumor that the region that you are going to Japan is to fight giant kaiju?
I can neither confirm nor deny that. Wink, wink. Yeah. Wink, wink.
Okay.
See if it comes back.
I will
with
also
an
confirm
Ultraman watch or something.
Yeah, 100%. I will also, just for anyone who is going to ask the question, no, I am not going to the Pokemon theme park that has just opened there. That is not on my list. I may go to the Pokemon store, and I might go to a Pokemon cafe, but those are not guarantees. But I'm more looking for the Kirby cafe.
Are you going to go to a cat cafe?
Pig cafe.
Pig cafe.
Pig. Yeah, little
Didn't
pigs.
know
little
that
piggies.
was a thing, but
Yep.
it's
Yeah,
Japan.
that's a
Not
new
really
one.
surprised.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a new one.
I will tell you, I actually was trying to. I got fed some stuff on Instagram. There is in Akihabara, you can sign up for an event where essentially you go and you build a customized Game Boy. And it's like you customize all the buttons and the plates and you build it from scratch. They basically have the motherboard. They do a whole history of it. It was super exciting. You get like a game or two for free that you include as well. I was super excited to do it. And then they had already fully booked up and they were not even accepting until end of March. So I was pretty disappointed by that one, but that looked like that was going to be a pretty incredible opportunity as well. So
Vic, in response to your pig cafe, just says "Nani."
So, yep, lots of good stuff.
So, yeah, that's what's coming up, y'all. And so, with that, we're going to close out episode 563 of the Nintendo Dads podcast. We want to say a huge thanks as we close out to our Patreon producers. That's Dave Ernsberger, Jacqueline Amira, and an anonymous Patreon producer, as well as 100 plus other patrons, or as we like to call you, friends of the show, as well as our Twitch Prime subscribers, Twitch followers, YouTube subscribers, social media likers and sharers. If you interact with our content in any way or help enable our content in any way, we want to say thank you. We would not be here if it weren't for you. You can go check out a ton of stuff over on our website. That's nintendodads.org, where you can see a list of our family of podcasts as well as other recommended podcasts, YouTube videos, tweets, social media, Patreon, and Extra Life pages. And of course, you can score yourself some sweet Nintendo Dads merch over there. And speaking of merch, don't forget to check out our sponsors, manscaped.com, where you can get 20% off your order with the code NINDADS. That's NINDADS. So go treat yourself to something nice over at manscaped.com, especially, in time for Valentine's Day. Email us at nintendodads@gmail.com or call in and leave a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. And we want to say a big thanks to OC Remix for the music and other things that we use throughout the show. And a reminder, wherever you download us in your podcatcher of choice, if you're an audio version listener, please leave us a 5-star review and some comments or whatever system your podcatcher uses. It will help people find the show. It will make you a hero. And what I've actually heard is if you'll do that, it does make you a better person.
True.
It's just part of it. So this has been episode 563 for me, for Justin, for Tim, and Jesse. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
You got to get your together. You know what I'm saying?